I'm Robertson. I'm the garden manager and youth conservation crew leader at UCAN. And I'm 25 years old. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, but I grew up in a military family, so I moved around a bunch when I was a kid. I've lived in Canada, the Middle East, Seattle, Mississippi, and now I'm here. So I had a pretty untraditional route to ending up in farming. I actually went to school for radiology. So I became a registered X-ray tech, and then I continued my career and became a radiation therapist. So I was actually treating cancer patients with high doses of radiation using a linear particle accelerator. And it was just a very tense job, so I started going outside and going for a walk, bringing a change of hiking clothes and changing out of my scrubs into hiking clothes and going for hikes. And that kind of led me to kind of wondering more about the outdoors and like how I could be involved in the outdoors. So on a whim, I just left the medical field and I went into a trail crew job, and that was in Asheville, North Carolina. And I basically worked on trails all up and down the East Coast. I worked in Ohio, West Virginia, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina and South Carolina. And after that, I was kind of thinking about how to expand my career in the outdoors. So I was pretty interested in agriculture because I know that was a way I could still work with the land and also benefit people and help people with their health. So that's how I ended up in agriculture. And I kind of went straight into farming and never looked back. The Catawba Trail Farm is such a unique location. It's really rich in history, and it's a great example of a crossroads between the past and the present, because we are on a land that was a previous plantation and there were enslaved people here, and there was also indigenous people that used to use the trading path. And so it's just an interesting way to see how we can preserve the past and also take care of the same land that they were stewarding in the past. Because if we didn't preserve those things, we could be sitting in a residential neighborhood right now. But it is important that we acknowledge what happened here and acknowledge the people that used to live here and steward the land, so we can do the same and keep this place healthy and protected. So as the garden manager at UCAN, I think the high tunnel that I'm sitting in is one of the huge parts of UCAN, because this is where a lot of the magic happens, and it's really not so much what I'm doing but what the plants are doing. I love looking after the plants, and I think UCAN is such a great asset to the community in Durham. The food distributions we do, where we have like boxes going out into the community, that's a really awesome and eye-opening opportunity to know, like, here's how we can benefit our community and get out there and kind of get the word out of the food scarcity that happens even in cities sometimes. And so I think this is one of the great ways we can educate people and kind of teach them about how to take care of the land so it can take care of them. A typical day for me at UCAN kind of looks like going into the high tunnel, assessing the state of all the vegetables, and just kind of seeing like if we're dealing with any pests like cabbage worms, or if there's some leaks in the drip irrigation that's running behind me. I also do a lot of tilling of the beds, so making sure that there's enough soil and amendments put into the soil. I also take care of the chickens, so some of the work I do is just making sure that they have enough food, collecting their eggs, making sure they have diatomaceous earth so they can do their little feathery bath. Then I also take care of some of the stuff in the youth garden and just make sure that's all in good state, yeah. So I was previously a crew leader, and I was in charge of kids from like 18 years old to 26, 27 years old. Not all of them are technically kids, but once you're out in the woods and you're working in nature, you kind of restore your inner childhood. And that's one of the important things to me for youth that are working here. There's just something exciting about getting your hands into the dirt and recognizing what a change you're making to your environment and how you can steward the land through conservation practices or through farming. Like, I remember the first time I ever planted something, and it was a radish and it got like this big, but I was so excited and proud of myself when I did that. So it's really awesome to kind of help children get that feeling back into themselves and feel proud of the work that they're doing. If you're ever here out at UCAN, I will probably be here. I'm here from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturdays. If for whatever reason you can't hear me, it's because I have hearing aids in and they're Bluetooth, so I might be listening to a podcast, but don't feel shy to just wave at me and get my attention. And we also will have some programs starting this year in 2025, some workshops available, possibly composting workshops, and we'll have more food distributions in the future. And yeah, if you ever need any help, just holler. Yeah.